Hey guys. Good happy Friday morning. Been having a rough day so far. So several years ago, um, probably like 8 years ago, I went to spend a few days with my sister-in-law's family for like Christmas. And on the way home, I had one of those scams perpetrated on my debit card. It was, where they put something inside the gas station slider and they're able to like capture your information. And they were subsequently like putting a lot of charges down. It took me about a month to figure it out, but I did ultimately figure it out and I challenged it with the bank and they agreed with me. Obviously, I did not make those purchases. I was nowhere near the locations where these purchases were made. However, ever since they've been like really aggro about monitoring my card, right? So, like, even if I try and just like get gas, they'll lock it up and be like, "Is it really you?" Yes, it's really me. I really need some gas right. This happens to me all the time, you guys. It's been happening for like 8 years. I, I'm I'm pretty much pretty close to being done with doing business with Bank of America, you guys. I'm so done with this. I just had an itching that I wanted a grand slam. You know, I wanted some eggs, some bacon, some hash browns. That's what I wanted this morning for breakfast. And they fucking did that bullshit to me again. And then they had me on hold for like 20 minutes while I was trying to figure it out. And I have a doctor's appointment immediately after I'm eating breakfast. God damn, this morning was rough, you guys. So then I did get it straightened out. I was able to clear the transaction, pay for my meal, and leave, right? I get up to the doctor's appointment. I'm about 5 minutes late. Not a big deal, right? Dom, I just saw an ad on here for World War III saying that the US will be invaded from the inside. For my years on YouTube, I've never seen an ad like, yeah, you know what? There's a lot of like QAnoner sort of ads floating around um, YouTube right now. I've just been like reporting them and blocking them, and I think you should do the same. There's a lot of like anti-vax shit. There's a lot of anti-immigrant shit. There's a lot of stuff floating around on YouTube right now doing that. So anyway, I get it up there. I'm like 5 minutes late, and I'm rolling through the parking lot, and there's no fucking parking. Right. So I called the healthcare clinic where this physical therapy is, and they put me on hold for 20 minutes. And when I finally get to speak to somebody, and I told her the doctor I was supposed to be meeting with at 10 a.m., she said, "We don't have anybody by that name who works here." And I said, "Yes, you do. I literally have a business card in my pocket that says his name. And it was handed to me by your program director yesterday." So they put me into the program director's voicemail. I did talk to her later. They've rescheduled me for next week. But it's just been a rocky start to my Friday. I might try and take a nap. Um, God, what a mess. Like, life is so hard to do. It's hard to be lifing, right? It's hard to be doing your lifing. That's a good breakfast, though. Denny's Grand Slam. A little bacon and eggs and some hash browns. A little wheat toast with some strawberry jam. Hits the spot, y'all. Hits the spot. If you haven't seen my videos from last night yet, obviously I can't monetize them because it's copyrighted music. But I did go do karaoke with my boyfriend again. If you listen closely, you can hear him singing in the background. He's gonna come by again today. So, I don't know if we're gonna sing again or if we're gonna like play darts or like play pool or something. We could do something entirely different. And I'm not keeping up on Wolfgang's bullshit. I imagine it's probably still going on, but I have no idea. I don't know. I don't really care because she clearly has no idea about like what the law looks like. She does not have any clue. So she can do her, she can keep, screen clipping her bullshit and slapping her fucking watermarks on it and doing absolutely nothing transformative and providing no commentary. The only commentary she apparently wants to apply is negative commentary against people who do exactly the same thing as her for the most part. And she just wants to attack people who I guess she feels like are getting into her space, I guess. Whatever. Not my problem. Not my problem, girlfriend. You're a little too old to have those types of beefs, but oh god, it's what is it? It's Friday. Monday's gonna be a big deal. Monday's gonna be a big deal because I got two major meetings going on. One is gonna be the HOA board. I have to write up a 3-minute speech to absolutely fucking tear apart one of the board members who's been coming after me for 4 years. She is a disgusting oh, sorry, I got the sound on. My apologies. She's a disgusting MAGA QAnoner who got very upset with me back in 2020 when I had a sign on my balcony that said flatten the curve. And she has spent 4 years organizing her ableist, bigoted community of friends and family in this area to harass me. They've egged my building. They have had their kids yell things up at me. They have had the adults yell things up at me. Really disgusting shit. But she personally likes to try and use the board to invent imaginary infractions against me. So her latest infraction is my shade tent, which is within CC&R regulations. It's not permanently affixed, and that's the stipulation. It cannot be permanently affixed. I have it tied down so that it won't blow away, but it's not permanently affixed. Like, if they have to do any work on the building, they can totally fucking do it. I can take this down really quickly. It's not a big deal. but she is constantly looking for reasons to try and find me or punish me. Like, for instance, when I first got my handicap placard, she started a thing within the HOA to try and get them to tow cars out of the handicap spaces. If they were not safe listed with the security company, they could be towed. Sorry, nope, 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 nope. You can't do that. That's a federally designated spot that we have access to and right to. And even if you were to try and say, well, if it's somebody from outside of the community that's parking there, I'm a homeowner. I have a right to park there, right? Okay, what do we got here? Angry Sloth. Oh my gosh. Hi, Jenna. Hope you're starting to feel better after the physical therapy. And it's a slow process. I got like 6 more weeks of it, Hangry Sloth. Thanks for checking in on me. I think you mostly hang out on Jordy's channel, right? It's gonna take a while. It's a long way to go. You guys want to see me walk? All right. You can see me walk on last night's videos too, actually. But let me just put it over facing this way. I'm in my boyfriend's chair. Can you see me? Can you see me? I'm getting better, right? Like, I've made some progress. Oh, thank you, Hangry Sloth. Uh, yeah. The it wasn't even that much about like the physical part of it, Hangry Sloth, that was kicking my ass. It's the fact that I've spent 2 years at home, and I'll go like 3 to 4 days at a time without like leaving my condo. I'm in an upstairs flat, and so that means I'm not doing the stairs, I'm not walking around, I'm just doing some light stretching, right? And now with this new regiment, I am walking the stairs every day. I am walking around this large building to get into the facility every day. And then I'm doing some light stretching and shit. And I'm listening to a lot of trauma dumping. So that's why I cut it back by 2 hours and said, look, I'm not going to listen to the trauma dumping anymore because you're just taking me into a dark place. You know, I've already gotten past that portion of my injury because this is part of like your injury arc, if you will, is that when you first experience an injury, you're really fucking depressed because it's like, holy shit, I can't move like I used to, right? That's the first most depressing thing is I no longer have use of this limb like I used to, right? So that's the first depressing thing. Plus, there are physical attributes to your condition that can make it so that you go into deep pain cycles. Like for me, I would go into pain cycles for like 3 days at a time. I was just talking to one of the other ladies. Most of the people that actually go to this program are bilingual, Spanish speakers, right? And I was speaking to I actually sat in with the Spanish class, but most of them could speak English anyway, so I don't know why they really separate us. But I was talking to this one lady, and she was kind of like explaining like her pain and the depression around it, and like all of this stuff. And I'm like, did you ever feel like gravity was trying to pull you into the earth? And she said, oh, yeah, I totally had that. Totally had that. Gravity was pulling me into the earth. And I'm like, yeah, I had that too. It felt like I was going to die. And I didn't know what to do with that feeling. So that was like the early months of my injury. I started getting a little bit better. It took a while. It went up and down. It's been like kind of a roller coaster of pain for the most part. But it's nice that at least I have this pastime on YouTube to just like look at other people's problems. Keeps me preoccupied, right? Especially when like I see Chantel going out there and trying to like sing. And I'm like, you know what? Your voice isn't totally off. Like you could join a choir. That's why I kind of like doing my karaoke because it's a bit of a taunt. I've been doing it for years though. I have been doing the karaoke for years, you guys. Um, this isn't going to be a long live stream, I don't think, unless you guys have questions for me or something. Um, I'm I'm happy to see Ruby Frankie and Jody Hildebrandt are gonna recommended 30 years. I don't know what the parole board's gonna give them, but it's a massive thing to adapt to and cope with, both the physical and the emotional side. Keep on keeping on and take things at a you feel okay with a pace. Okay, pace you feel with. Um, that's kind of what I insisted. Thank you for that, Hangry Sloth. That's what I insisted on last week. Is like I was throwing up every day, and I'm like, you know what? This is not how I'm gonna live. Even if it's just like to try and rehabilitate myself, I am not gonna live in a situation where I'm coming home and throwing up every day. And that's where I was. And as of last week, I am no longer there. So, um, we've moved forward, thankfully. They still side eye me, though. There's still a lot of people in that program that fucking side eye me because I'm like, no, I'm not going to be going to psychology. I'm going to stick here with the Spanish group and do yoga, right? So I will arrange my own program, basically. And I skip art therapy, I skip psychology because those are the two classes where it's supposed to be peaceful. You're supposed to be um, learning coping mechanisms and stuff like that. But almost the entire class is people trauma dumping. And I get it. Like, okay, you've gone through a horrible experience and you want to talk about it. But this is not great for my well being when I'm trying to get through an injury, too. You know what I mean? Like, I can't be constantly listening to, I was sexually assaulted when I was a little girl by my uncle every day. You know what I mean? Like, every day I gotta fucking hear that story. And we had a session because one of the sessions is nutrition, and they spoke extensively about EDs. So the next Monday, the art therapist asked me, if I was like planning anything for when the whole workers' comp cycle ends, like, because ultimately they settle your case, right? And I said, well, I don't really know. I think I might do some grant writing. But I have been kind of dabbling around with YouTube a bit and covering these ED channels and doing some commentary. I started talking about it a bit, and she said, she snapped at me and said, that's really negative, and I would rather you not speak about that in this class. You're triggering me because I've dealt with an ED. Okay, you've dealt with an ED, but you're literally a teacher in this program, and it's part of the actual goddamn curriculum, and we were just being discussed this topic on Friday. That's why, like, I can't really, um, I can't really do those side classes anymore because it just feels very phony, like I'm not getting anything out of it. It feels phony. I don't want to be a part of that anymore. Um, but today sucked ass. Like, I was trying to treat myself to just some eggs and fucking bacon. And my entire morning got screwed over. I don't mean to be Debbie Downer, but I don't mean to be Debbie Downer, you guys. I think if we do karaoke again, I'll probably sing some Carpenters. Probably sing some Carpenters. Maybe I'll do Hopelessly Devoted. We'll see. We'll see what I can get out of that. Um, Anywho, I'm just checking in, letting you know that I still exist, and asking that you take a look at my singing from last night. It wasn't perfect, but it was something. I mean, I'm not a perfect singer, especially when I haven't practiced the song in advance, which I had not in either case. Plus, they were fucking with us. That DJ keeps kicking us out of the queue. So we had to have several conversations with him about, hey, our names are missing again. Can you tell us what's up here? We've probably spent over $100 on food and drinks in this bar. That's how you're gonna treat us? Those old motherfuckers. Oh my god. Okay, let me tell you about this chick. Often there are women who come up and hit on my boyfriend like right the fuck in front of me. And vice versa. I'm better at like okay, thank you, Hangry Slot. Um I'm better at warding off these unwanted suitors than he is, right? Cuz he sees them as just potential parts of like a community, right? Like if you're running for an office or something like that, because he is a politician. Some jackass. Okay, so it's always like people like Wolfgang or like Foodie Beauty who send their fucking trolls after me, and some jackass was like started an account that said, I think it was called like Jenna's Angry Liver. Okay. First of all, I've had all my blood work done. I have no issues, so you can kiss my ass. But um, that was probably it. Could have been Eli Berry, that fucking troll they sent after me back in 2021. That was a political thing. That he was sent after me for the convo couch. Wrong pipe. Anyway, so there was this older lady who was kind of working the room, had one button too many unbuttoned on her dress. You know what I mean? Trying to show up a little too much cleavage. Had a little too many wrinkles to be trying to pull that bullshit off. And just kept telling us over and over again how much property her dad owned in the area. She was really excited that he owned the big yellow house in the 80s that was in Mission Viejo. And I'm like, oh yeah, we used to go and eat there when I was a little kid. They had the great root beer candies. And then when she left the table, I turned to my boyfriend. I'm like, it was like a glorified fucking clam jumper, dude. It, I don't know why she thinks she's hot shit, because she's not saying that she owns any of this property. She's saying that her family owns it. Hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. So, whatever. Like, I don't know what, like, is that what you do every fucking Thursday on karaoke night? Is just work the room and brag about how your dad owned a lot of property down here in South OC? Um, I don't know. I find it odd. And you think it's totally normal to walk up to a couple and start, like, talking over the girlfriend and speaking directly to her boyfriend? That's totally normal to you? Why do women do that? Why do they think that that's normal? That they can just try and move in on a couple situation and just like start talking to the man? Yeah, right? Angry sloth? It's a weird tactic for sure. But I've seen it happen several times over the last few weeks at least. Of these women who think that they can just like start talking to my boyfriend like right the fuck in front of me and not include me or talk over me when I start to speak. And it's very bizarre to me. I mean, I'm going to start getting rude with these motherfuckers and say, okay, bitch, you need to leave now. Because that's some bullshit. You can't be like that dismissive to the girlfriend while you're like trying to ham it up with my boyfriend. That's some bullshit. Mm-mm-mm. All right, so I'm gonna wrap it up here because I'm gonna probably take a nap and maybe a hot bath, and I got another date tonight, so I got shit. I don't know who you are. Take care.